What's going on, YouTube people? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm back with another tactic testing video. I've been looking at some of the most popular tactics out there, and today I've decided to break down the 4-2-2-2 Badel v2. In the video, I'm going to break it down so you can have a look at the tactic for yourself, and then I'm going to put it through its paces using 3 teams. But before I get into the video, I need to ask you for a small favour. On YouTube, a few little clicks go a long way. So if you could please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Football Manager content. Right then, let's get into this one. We're going to be breaking down the 4-2-2-2 Badel v2. So let's kick things off by having a look at the players and their instructions. Starting at the back, you're going to have a sweeper keeper set to defend. On the left, a fullback set to support. 2 ball-playing defenders set to cover. On the right-hand side, a fullback set to support. In the middle, you have 2 segundo volantes, both set to support. On the left, an inverted winger set to attack. On the right, an inverted winger set to attack. An advanced forward set to attack on the left, and an advanced forward set to attack on the right. So once again, if you need any of these instructions and you want to write them down, you can just pause the video, go back, have a look through it, jot anything down that you need. If you want to try this tactic for yourself, there is a link in the description for you to go and try the tactic. Okay then, so it's set up in a 4-2-4 basically, or a 4-2-2-2 as claimed by the maker of the tactic. It's a tactical style of Badel v2. Its mentality is set to balanced. Its in possession will look like this. Its in transition will look like this. Its out of possession will look like this. So that's a run through of the tactic. I've shown you the in possession, the in transition, the out of possession, all of the player instructions. And again, if you need this tactic or want to try this tactic, there is a link in the description down below. So that's the tactic covered off. Let's jump forward, show you some results, and show you how this tactic gets on in the hands of 3 different teams. Okay, to kick us off, we are going to be looking at Aston Villa. Now, before I break this down too much, I need to remind you, I am using the 23-24 season update, the database that's available from Sort It Outside. If you want to know how to do this, there is a tutorial on the channel that takes you through it step by step on how you can get your game up and running for the 23-24 season. Right then, let's break down Aston Villa's results. We are on the competitions tab. We can see that they have finished 5th in the Premier League, and they have managed to qualify themselves for the Champions League. Looking at the Europa Conference League, they have managed to go on and win that competition. In the FA Cup, they were knocked out in the 3rd round by Manchester United. And in the Carabao Cup, they were knocked out in the 3rd round by Brentford. Let's have a little look at who they beat in the final of the Conference League. They got through to the final where they defeated Frankfurt 4-2. Let's break down the Premier League in a bit more detail and show you how they finished 5th. So they played 38 games. They won 22 of them. Drew 6. Lost 10. Had a goal difference of 27. And they finished on 72 points. So they did finish 10 points behind Arsenal, 11 behind Manchester United, and they finished 22 points behind champions Liverpool. Looking at some of the stats on the screen, you can see there, Matty Cash getting 16 yellow cards is probably not good, but Moreno did manage to get himself 5.11 dribbles per 90 minutes. Looking at the team overview page for some stats here, we can look at shots on target ratio percentage. That's 39% in 5th place. Most goals, 3rd place with 77. In the cross completion percentage, 4th place with 18. In the headers won ratio, 6th with 51%. Best pass completion, not inside the top 8. Most possession, not inside the top 8. Fouls made, 2nd place with 703. Tackles won ratio percentage, not inside the top 8. Most clean sheets, again, not inside the top 8. And fewest conceded, not inside the top 8. Go across the data hub to break down some of the performances. Now, if you want to see any of these stats that are on the screen here, feel free to just pause the video and have a little look at them for yourself. But going into the attacking stats, goals per game 2.03, non-penalty expected goals 2.09, shots per game 18.32, shots on target ratio 39.08, dribbles per game 19.21, cross completion 18.52, pass completion ratio 80.23, fouls against per game 11.58. For the defending stats, goals conceded per game is 1.32, goals against per game expected 1.36, tackles attempted per game 28.16, tackles won ratio percentage 72.24, interceptions per game 24.71, blocks per game 6.11, clearances per game 11.08, fouls made per game 18.50. So, in terms of Aston Villa, it's a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it? They finished 5th in the Premier League, qualifying themselves for the Champions League. They won the Europa Conference League. In the FA Cup, they were knocked out in the 3rd round by Manchester United. In the Carabao Cup, knocked out in the 3rd round by Brentford. The second team that we tested this tactic with is in Austria. They are Red Bull Salzburg. And looking at their competitions tab, we can see straight away that they have won the Austrian Bundesliga. In the Champions League, they were knocked out at the group stages. They finished 3rd in their group behind Benfica and Napoli. They did get 9 points. That put them into the Europa League, where they were knocked out in the quarterfinals by Brighton. And in the Austrian FA Cup, they went and claimed that trophy to give them a domestic double. If we check the Austrian FA Cup final, they beat LASK 3-0 in the final to claim that trophy. If we look at the Austrian Bundesliga in a bit more depth, starting off with the league table phase, they played 22, they won 20, drew 2, lost none, scored 65, had a goal difference of 54, and they finished on 62 points. That's 16 points clear of LASK. If we look at the Championship group, we can see that they played 32, won 28, drew 4, went undefeated, scored 84, 69 goal difference and 57 points, and they absolutely walked the Austrian Bundesliga, as you would probably expect from a team that is backed by Red Bull and a team that is full of wonder kids and players that are in the Red Bull development academies. So let's look at some stats then. Fernando got 22 goals, Sole 7.51 average rating, Fernando 7.49 and Okafor 7.21. Assists, Olmo with 9, Fernando with 9. Okafor and Fernando got 5 Player of the Match awards. Glock got 4. Clean sheets, Cone got 16 clean sheets. If we look at the stats for the team overview and look into the shots on target ratio, they were 2nd with 38%. Most goals, top by 84, where they scored nearly 40 goals more than everybody else in the league. In terms of cross completion, 17%, and they topped the list. In headers won ratio percentage, 3rd with 52%. Best pass completion, 5th with 82%. Most possession, 3rd with 56%. Fouls made, top of the table with 449. Tackles won ratio, not inside the top 8. Most clean sheets with 18, top of the list. Fewest goals conceded, 15, conceding 11 less than LASK. If we go into their data hub and have a look at how they got on in terms of their team attacking, goals per game 2.62, non-penalty expected goals 2.17, shots per game 20.25, shots on target ratio 38.27, dribbles per game 20.44, cross completion 17.88, pass completion ratio 82.42, fouls against per game 11.53. Going to their defending stats, conceded per game 0.47, expected goals against per game 0.64, tackles attempted per game 24.44, tackles won ratio 73.4, interceptions per game 22.41, blocks per game 4, clearances per game 6.91, and fouls made per game 14.03. So this tactic really has done the trick for Red Bull Salzburg. As I said, they are slightly overpowered in Austria, so it may be swayed slightly that they are overpowered anyway, but in the hands of this tactic, certainly domestically, they have been fantastic. In terms of the Champions League, they put up a good fight, gaining 9 points, almost going through to the knockout phases, but they didn't do too well once they got into the Europa League. For the third and final team that we tested this tactic on, we are off to Spain, where we are looking at Seville. We find them in 4th place in La Liga, where they have qualified for the Champions League. And in the Spanish Cup, unfortunately, they were knocked out in the quarterfinals by Betis. If we break down La Liga in a bit more detail, just to show you how they got on, they played 38, won 23, drew 3, lost 12, had a goal difference of 38. And they finished on 72 points. They were 12 points behind league winners Barcelona. They finished 8 points behind Real Madrid, who finished in 3rd. Looking at some stats, Rafa Mir got 26 goals. He got 7.40 average rating. Augustinson got 12 assists and Corona 11. Rafa Mir got 9 Player of the Match awards. Delaney got 12 yellow cards. If we look at the team stats for the team overview, we can see that shots on target ratio percentage, Seville finished 4th with 41%. Most goals, they finished 2nd behind Barcelona with 76. For cross completion, they finished 3rd with 19%. They finished top of the headers won ratio percentage. Best pass completion, don't finish inside the top 8. Most possession, they finished 8th with 50%. They finished top of the fouls made league, 671. In terms of tackles won ratio percentage, not inside the top 8. Most clean sheets, they finished joint 3rd with 16. And fewest goals conceded, they finished joint 5th with Atletico with 38 conceded. Moving across to their data hub and looking at their team attacking stats, we can see their goals per game was 2. Non-penalty expected goals per 90 was 1.82. Shots per game, 18.42. Shots on target ratio, 41.71. Dribbles per game, 16.61. Cross completion, 19.30. Pass completion ratio, 83.18. Fouls against per game, 11.95. In terms of their defending numbers, goals conceded per game, 1. Expected goals against per game, 1.19. Tackles attempted per game, 27.92. Tackles won ratio percentage, 73.7. Interceptions per game, 22.84. Blocks per game, 5.45. Clearances per game, 9.37. And fouls made per game, 17.66. So, all in all, Seville have finished 4th in La Liga, knocked out in the quarterfinals by Betis. We have had Aston Villa do really well in their test run, and then previously we had Red Bull Salzburg, who managed to win a domestic double. So I think this tactic works best when it's in the hands of a team that is slightly overpowered, when you are using a team that maybe needs 1 or 2 signings. I think if you get the right players and put them in the right positions, this tactic has the potential to work for substandard teams too. Right then, if you're with me at this point of the video, firstly, a big thank you. Secondly, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to help the channel out. Cannot thank you all enough for all of the progress the channel has made across the past couple of months. It's all down to people like yourself who come, interact, leave comments, drop likes, hit the subscribe button. It really does help the channel to grow. Before you go, don't forget there's other things on the channel. There are other tactic videos. There are Let's Plays, Wonder Kids, tips, tutorials, a little bit of something for everybody right here on the channel. But for this one, I'm going to leave it there. Big thank you for watching. I'll see you on another video very soon.